So the first thing that I noticed when looking at the spectrum was you have this large pump.
Yeah.
Right? And this right here is a mix problem. So most importantly, before you do any processing, EQs, effects, the number one thing that you want to try to get right is the volume relationship between everything, because it's going to really... I also suggest that you can use a maximizer if you'd like, but I put this limiter here, and you can use a limiter as your final output, because all that's going to do is take the 0 point of your mixer here and drop the ceiling right here. So imagine 0 dB. It's just going to, it's just, if you say, give it +6, it's going to drop it by 6, and it's just going to instantly make it loud. So if you like to work with the loudness, have a limiter in the chain, and then have your reference, which is perfect. But always have a spectrum analyzer too, because what this is going to do is going to allow you to be able to compare your reference to your track. And your goal here is to try to not have these massive humps. What this tells me is that you likely have a small issue with low end in your room that may need to get addressed. You're probably overcompensating in your mix because you can't. The point of the system is to eliminate things that are completely loud. Like this kick drum doesn't seem completely overblown, but some kick drums are overblown. Some hi-hats are overblown. Like this hi-hat might be a little bit louder than this one, say for example. So you're kind of getting everything to a flat playing field. And from there, you're able to use your mixer. Now, the point of her very big purpose of the K metering is to keep things relatively close to the 0 mark. Because if you don't do what you are doing by lowering that gain staging, you would be mixing that shaker way down here, right?
Yeah.
So these faders are logarithmic, meaning they're more precise up here. So that's kind of the point of why the K metering system exists, but it doesn't mean not to use this mixer. I like this plugin here. It's called Voxengo Span. If you watch the K metering video, you would have noticed it. I'm not using it for K metering at the moment. I'm looking at it just to see that your bass right now is, well, let's first take let's take this Pro Q3 off. You know, the fundamental of the bass is around 92 hertz. Okay? And then the fundamental of the kick is actually in the same spot. So one of the biggest tricks for me lately is to make sure that they are not in the same space without EQ. And what I mean by that is, because when you do use EQ, and I'm not saying you shouldn't, but when you use EQ on bass can often be shifting. You know, when you're playing the notes and it's moving around the spectrum. So when you're carving out a hole or boosting at 80, you're only catching one little area of that bass, whereas the bass itself might be moving around in frequency. For some reason, when I play this bass, so yeah, you're catching this peak, but see, it's a better solution. What I've found is